Georgie and Mandy's first marriage survived the season without their first marriage dissolving, but the finale hinted at potential trouble as Mandy, Emily Osment, took on a promotion at the local news station and reconnected with her ex-husband Scott, Christopher Gorham, at work. Although she wasn't upfront about their past relationship at first, Georgie's, Montana Jordan, focus was divided between his marriage and the fact that his father-in-law Jim, Will Sasso, was thinking about selling his tire shop to adversary Fred Fagenbacher, Matt Letcher. Even though Mandy didn't think she was guilty for keeping her boss's ex a secret, her remorse showed up as gifts for Georgie, who eventually found out. He left the McAllister home in a rage and went to live with his mother, Mary, Zoe Perry, at the Cooper home. There, she defended Mandy's predicament by pointing out that her older daughter-in-law would inevitably have a past and a history, and that Georgie would need to come to terms with that if he wished to move on. By giving Georgie a substantial loan to invest in the tire shop, Mary also assisted him in securing his future there. When Jim first didn't have enough money, Georgie's co-worker Ruben, Jesse Prez, stepped up and contributed the remaining funds as a co-owner. Jim concurred, and the new proprietors were now in a unique position for the plots of the upcoming season. An awkwardly extended embrace with Scott suggested that working near to one another could be risky, but Mandy stated she would accept the promotion at the news station. Even though their relationship is tumultuous, Georgie and Mandy have chosen to trust one another with their most recent endeavors by the end of the finale. Looking ahead to Season 2, how will it all come together? Steve Holland, executive producer, offers his thoughts on the major revelations of the finale below. As the season comes to a close, Mandy and Georgie are still unsure about their relationship with her ex-boss, Scott. Is their marriage a cause for concern? Ultimately, it's the first. Steve Holland: the fact that we don't know precisely where this relationship will lead is one of the things that makes it exciting, but it also makes the possibility of her ex-boyfriend working with her real, since something will eventually happen. Even in the event that nothing occurs, it might serve as sufficient motivation for. Because of Georgie's jealousy, things go awry. Mandy loves her family, and I don't think she's lying about Scott being her boss, but you can sense in that moment that Scott might still feel something for her, so perhaps they're both lying to themselves if they believe the past is over. Now that Jim and Ruben have purchased the tire store, how will their relationship change? Will Jim return to the shop for Season 2 or be completely retired? One of the things we noticed while watching Season 1 was that the tire store evolved into a kind of satellite entity. You can talk about what was going on at home if you're at the tire store. And we were trying to figure out a way to include that and Ruben more fully into the major narrative, and it seemed like an interesting way to do that. And certainly, I believe for Jim, thinking retirement's going to be terrific may not be true. It has a fantastical component, but there's also a truth about it, which may be more dull. And as he watches Georgie and Ruben take over this tire shop he founded, he will feel something about the choices they are making, and I believe he will want to be involved. Additionally, I believe it will somewhat alter his and Georgie's relationship because Jim is no longer in charge if he decides to return, participate, or offer input. Additionally, I believe that there will be conflict there as well as between Georgie and Ruben. The interesting part, in my opinion, is that nobody in that interaction is acting antagonistically or negatively. Everyone tries to do what they believe is best, but sometimes their ideas don't coincide. In this episode, Mandy's abilities as a weather person were showcased. How did you and the team work with Emily Osment to determine Mandy's work style? We eventually